my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the whole town cheer. It's the ultimate high for the glory. We do it for the glory.
Welcome back, Summoners, to the 2018 LVL Spring Term. My name is Vulcan, and with me is Atlas. Nice to see you again, man.
Of course,
Now
after last week of LVL is going to have more matches today. And once again, is going to have more matches from DLSU. Since they debuted last week, they're going to have 4 more matches still grueling, this time against UPD Oblation Esports.
So now going into our week 5 of the group stages. Atlas, one more week remains before, you guys know it, moving on to the playoff stages for our LVL Spring Term. So if you check out on your screens right now, it will be the standings so far.
It's going to be UST and Bosu and TUP leading the pack here. FITMA around the middle of the pack, as well as Adamson. As for DLSU, they've had the least games so far. They can still catch up, but they have to really do it and win most of their games here. And it's really, really tiring for them because they have 4 games every week since their debut, so it's going to be very tough. But of course, as the champions of the LCL, they have what it takes. Let's see what everything is going to end up with in this game we have with the LSU. As for UPD, it seems like in their previous 2 games today, they weren't able to pull off a win, and that basically diminishes a lot of their chances of getting to playoffs, unfortunately for them.
So I would like to recap to the viewers just tuning in right now, and to our returning viewers. So thank you so much for tuning in on our stream here. So to give you guys a short recap of what happened previously, I think I heard from the casters, Chisto and Arctic did mention that it was one of the shortest games they've ever casted. 80 minutes, if I can recall correctly. So when it comes to your worry, Atlas, about DLSU's tiresome schedule, 4 games a day, I don't think that's a problem for them. They can just quickly wrap up the games.
Basically, going through the semifinals and the finals of the LCL, they have that endurance, they have that experience in the collegiate level of esports here in League of Legends. So definitely a lot of pressure as well, but they seem to be handling it very, very well. I'm just excited to see what else they have up their sleeves, because so far they've had information advantage in their games. So it's going to be quite a match here between Oblation Esports. They're really behind right now, but of course, as you like to say, a cornered animal is at its most dangerous. So UPD might be going for something crazy, just try and really break their backs trying to beat DLSU, which is a powerhouse.
So we'll see though, Atlas, but yeah, in a way it's the most dangerous state for an animal, but in a way I have to say for UPD, the game for which we will cast right now, guys. So DLSU versus UPD Oblation Esports. It's safe to say that for UPD, they have no more chances, no slot moving on to the playoff stage due to their standings. 1-6 in week 5. It's safe to say that they have no more chances going into the playoff stage, but at least they can enjoy. As you said, Atlas, maybe it's a dangerous point of their run in the group stages, but we can also say that it'll be their last moments in the LVL Spring Term before we move on to the playoff stage.
Definitely. So it's just going to be very exciting. What's UPD going to pull off here? Because they might as well have fun and get dangerous at this point in time against DLSU.
But to our viewers out there watching out for something more intense and something with high stakes, tuning to our schedule, tuning to our stream as we move on to our schedule, because we have more games in store for you guys. But before we go on to the drafting phase, let's know the teams first. For UPD, Nona in the top lane, Device in the jungle side, Veer in the mid lane, Yochan as ADC, and Zizigi as their support. Coach is Red Mayhem Bartolome.
That is going to be the team, and As for their enemy, DLSU, it's going to be Karna in the top lane, Espera in the jungle, Spring in the mid lane, Comte and Ventus is their bot lane, with their coach, of course, Rainier, Little Panda, Gomez.
So I think we have familiarized ourselves with our teams here and our players entering towards the drafting phase for UPD Oblation Esports on the blue side versus DLSU Virtus Arcus on the red side. So on to the first rotations of our bands here, on to phase 1.
Seems like UPD, they're locking out one of the most powerful picks in this patch right now, Graves. He can fight and scrap early in the game, contest those Scuttle Crabs, get a lot of damage in, so they don't want to deal with that. DLSU blocking out the Malzahar from Veer here, as well as Yochan's Kaisa. UPD, they don't want to deal with the mid lane pressure of Spring's Talia, as well as what the Jacks can bring in the late game for DLSU.
And for UPD, they will prioritize the Ornn in their first rotation. DLSU forced to ban out the Kaisa on the red side. Normal things happening here in the drafting phase. But for Virtus Arcus, going in for the Aurelia.
The Aurelia against the Ornn. It's actually a pretty decent matchup for this one, picking into that. And the Rakan for their support in the bot lane.
You can still expect this Aurelia to be flexed, can go still to the mid lane or the top lane. So on the UPD side, Morgana being taken away from DLSU and locking in their final pick in their phase 1, the Caitlyn for the ADC.
Caitlyn, a little bit of a safer pick than most, especially with a Morgana. Just have that black shield to block all of the CC and just have that binding, just really snipe them down if they can. But DLSU, Comte bringing the Draven here. That's going to go great with Rakan's all-in potential. And just the sustain as well in the lane is going to be very useful. DLSU second rotation of bans, Zac and Galio, both very beefy, high engaged tools that basically Yochan wants in his front line. UPD batting out top laner and possibly a jungler as well with a Trundle and the Camille locked away. DLSU gonna lock in this Nocturne for jungle most likely.
I like the cheese strat DLSU is going for. The night vision, it's harder for them to dodge the Draven's ultimate, so that's the game here. Blind at the enemy, so it's easy for them to engage and catch them by surprise. Not only that, they can also try and make it harder for the Ornn to land his Forge God. So UPD Oblation Esports hovering on the Zoe, switches it with a Taric. It's going to be a flex here. Morgana will be going to the mid lane.
Yeah, that could possibly be Morgana in the mid lane here, but of course, this Taric could be very interesting. Does have a pretty decent lane with that Caitlyn. If UPD locks in this Master Yi, it's going to be absolutely hilarious. I want to see how this ends up.
It's not just hilarious, but also at the same time something enjoyable to our viewers to watch, and possibly for our players and UPD Oblation Esports side to go out with a bang here. So DLSU, they will answer that with a Vladimir. We are seeing the Master Yi. We're seeing the Morgana in the mid lane. So interesting things happening for Oblation Esports, but for Virtus Arcus, still sticking towards their strat here. Looks like Vladimir will be locked in. Aurelia will go top lane.
Yeah, DLSU definitely has that pretty standard team here, but with a certain DLSU flair in the Draven. As for UPD, as you said, they went all out, and they're going to go out with a bang here with the composition. There is an idea here where instead of going to the support, as a support, the Taric will go mid and just give all most of the farm to the Master Yi. Basically, the Master Yi is going to be like, what, 2-3 levels above everyone else. You just have so much farm as well, and with the black shield from the Morgana.
So we're seeing a lot of protection coming in from the Master Yi, the black shield.
Let's see, they're still trying to mix up the support in the mid lane here. It's going to be very interesting.
We'll see once they finalize here. So looks like we'll be loading up to the Rift here. This will be the final pick. Alright, it's going to be Veer playing the Taric in the mid lane here, and Morgana going into the bot lane. So correction on that side. As for Virtus Arcus, we're seeing the Vladimir Aurelia, sort of the things that we normally see in the competitive scene. So Oblation Esports going in for something fun here as we are loading into our game 4.
Definitely a very cheesy strat. This is sharp cheddar here coming from Oblation Esports. As for Virtus Arcus, Definitely, this is pretty much standard except for the AD carry. That's his own personal flair coming into this game. He can make good use of it, but of course, we are loaded here on the Rift for Game 4 for today. UPD, Oblation Esports on the blue side versus DLSU, Viridis Arcus on the red side.
So let's get straight to it, Summoners. This is our 4th game, Week 5 of the group stages for the LVL Spring Term. So for those guys just tuning in right now, so we welcome you to our stream, and we like to talk back about yung picks galing kay UPD. Now, Tarek in the mid lane and Morgana, you can see it on your screens here. It's something interesting, and I think it'll be enjoyable for you guys to watch. So
yeah,
stay
actually,
tuned.
I do believe it works very well in the Chinese server.
Chinese server?
Yeah, just constantly get a lot of LP, just do as someone, have this kind of strategy, and works really, really well.
Also, malam mo guys, try nyo dun sa rank games nyo.
Oh, no.
Tarek, get yourself a duo partner, mag-mid Tarek, tapos yung jungler mo, Master Yi, bigay mo lahat ng gold, lahat ng EXP at CS.
Has the Relic Shield as well, just to hammer it in.
Okay,
this is all going to Device.
It's gonna happen here, guys. It's gonna happen because we're seeing the Tarek with the Relic Shield possibly gonna give this Master Yi Device a huge start.
Has a great fashion sense to boots with the fur.
We'll see.
Seems like that's gonna be happening.
So when you look, guys, if you look at the map here, it's going to be opposite start here. Nocturne will be on the red side. As for Device, will also start on the red side. Maybe he'll visit the mid lane to get his extra 2 CS from the Relic Shield.
That is gonna be quite useful for his scaling as at Master Yi. He definitely needs to be able to survive the onslaught that DLSU will inevitably bring. They have very powerful picks here in the Irelia and the Vladimir.
And as for the top lane, we're seeing interesting keystones. As for the secondary path, it will be inspiration for the Ornn, because he did pick up the minion dematerializer. Really wants to push out the waves in his lane.
Doesn't want Karna to get too much priority there in the top side. So very, very useful right there for UPD.
So it's going to be a Rakan going in, locks up the cannon. Whoa! An immediate first blood. That's going to go towards the Rakan. Looks like this Draven is running the Conqueror Keystone. That's why you expect that much damage coming from Comte.
And these short trades in the bot side, Conqueror on Draven deals so much bonus damage. And I'm pretty sure that's why Comte likes this Draven a lot as well. It just works so well in these kinds of matchups where he can just go all in with the Rakan.
Looks like we're seeing the strategy
here
happening in the mid lane. All of the CS going towards the Master Yi. 1 wave worth going towards Device here. Maybe
that's a lot, maybe lane. 2 waves even.
But when it comes to the risk scuttler, he did not pick up the first one. Gets his stun onto the Vladimir. They're going to Alpha Strike, and that's going to be the double strike. Proccing it onto Spring with the burn damage. Cover red buff.
It's going to be a lot of damage. Of course, he is at Vladimir. Can just sustain himself back up, but that's a lot of gold funneled onto Veer, and he still has some of his camps left to clear.
So as far as we can see here, looks like UPD is using the strat to their advantage. Now on the CS-wise, 26-16 towards the Master Yi and the
It's kind of substantial. It's not as big as one would expect, but that is going to build up eventually as he visits mid lane even more. Looking at the other lanes, it seems like Esper is still really rushing towards that level 6, but right now he doesn't have too much control over the other lanes.
We'll see when it happens as the game progresses here, guys. So one thing that we do need to point out here, I think there was a lot of debates regarding the Conqueror on the ADC. Yung medyo hindi marunong magpasa ng Keystone, guys. So yung ADC range can actually use the Conqueror. If you read carefully or kung marunong kayo magpasa ng Keystone, guys, it refreshes kung melee ka. So I want to clarify that to you guys here. And we're saying here in the LVL Spring Term stream, as the Nocturne going in for the gank here. Alpha Strike was used for the iframe, but in the end, the fear from Espera takes down the Master Yi. Double buff going towards, rather just a buff going to Espera for the Nocturne.
Yeah, that's really the weakness very early in the game. Yes, Device gets a lot of gold and XP, but here pretty much gets shafted in terms of that gold and XP. So in a 2v2 situation, Esper and Spring are still going to out-damage him at this point in the game. So it's real. So this actually gives Esper a bonus camp here in the Raptors, possibly going to transition to that Skull Crab. So just rushing towards that level 6, and then eventually he could go for these ganks that Device can't actually go for.
Because here's the thing that you did mention the Chinese server strat here, right? Does it still work knowing that in this batch, the Rift Scuttle gives so much experience, so much gold, that
it's like,
is it a worthy trade for Davos to stay in lane and stay and farm? Because at this point, this gives Esper a lot of priority in terms of getting the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more pressure to be faster in how he collects that CS in the mid lane. And the thing is, that strat is actually working in solo queue, but here in this stage at collegiate level, it's a lot more organized. It's gonna be more difficult to actually pull this off.
And I think for Esper, he took away all the Scuttle, and for Davies didn't get any Scuttle. As you can see in the level, both of them are actually just level 5, so I'm just pretty skeptical. Atlas, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe we're not seeing it just yet. If we can look at the gold, maybe it'll change my mind here. As another aggressive dive on the tower, but in the end, what a 1-for-1 trade here happening in the top lane.
Yeah, Karna definitely had a good chance of killing Nona there without dying himself. Yeah, however, a little bit too close to the turret right there, and he gets knocked up, even in his own arena in the Vanguard's Edge. So there, 1-for-1 trade, it's still not that bad, but 1-for-1 trades are usually not worth it.
And as we can see in the bot lane, again, Comte on this Conqueror Keystone with a BF Sword pickup, because Draven has ridiculous AD ratios. That's why it gives him so much true damage. And each basic attack, technically, that's what happened in the bot lane. That's why, for those who are just tuning in, that's why the first blood went to VA in the bot lane. The support did pick it up, but it's okay. An assist is better than nothing.
Though that does hurt him in his potential. Draven really wants that kill, but in that case, he really can't help it. But there's so much damage still coming from that Conqueror.
Look at this minion wave about to crash in the mid lane. Will Davies be there to take out the CS there? Because we do see him going towards the
he's definitely going to go there. He wants that cannon wave.
Stun, that's going to kill Vladimir. He pops his ultimate, trying to back away, get some heal, goes underground for the escape. Highlander used by the Master Yi. Paranoia used to deny some vision. Looks like they're in the dark, and here comes Aspera for the counter gang, and towards Fear takes him down under tower. What's happening for Ablation Esports here?
That didn't work out at all for UPD. Good on Spring. He was using all of his resources trying to stay alive. Veer, I think, Veer as well as Davies didn't play that as well as they could have. Spring was able to dodge a lot of damage, get to his turret, and Esper, since he was already level 6, even if he was far away, there was a very easy response to that strat right there. And pretty much, I think this shuts down this Master Yi strategy that UPD's picked up.
Okay guys, I think I'm gonna take away yung sinasabi ko kanina. Don't use it on solo queue. You can see the results, what's happening here in a competitive scene where there's coordination, There is a lot of respawns coming from the mid lane, especially yung Nocturne. Grabe yung Paranoia, denied the stun, connecting towards the two members galing kay DLSU. So, sobrang medyo gulo dun sa mid lane, and you know that Aspera was there just to go for the immediate response. Tapos si Davies medyo naasim siya dun sa turret, going in for the tower dive. But this is a fun game, guys, so I thank you so much for
It's pretty amusing so far.
Here comes the here. Vanguard's Edge used to slow him down. On the tower again, gets the brittle, knocks him back just a bit. Stun, didn't connect with the sign dun. So, I guess the gank didn't succeed for VA, but at least they're getting some pressure in the top lane.
Yes, so much pressure here in the top side, and that's really what you're giving up on this Master Yi strat, his UPD, since he's focusing so much on farming as well as taking mid lane farm and trying to gank mid lane with Veer.
Baga Atlas, baga yung mga viewers natin medyo nagtaka sila. Bakit nag-mid lane Taric tapos yung Davies kuha siyang CS? So as Atlas said, guys, it's something of
it's a cheesy strat.
It's a cheesy strat in the Chinese server. So for just joining in right now, we're trying to tell you guys what's happening, because I think for you guys just tuning in, medyo naguluhan kayo. So that's what Atlas said. That's what it meant here.
Try another time.
Yeah, they're doing another thing here in the mid lane.
It seems like they learned their lesson. They can't 1v2 Spring because Esper almost has his Paranoia up. It's going to be way too dangerous. And pretty much I like how all this ended up for DLSU. They have that Nocturne. So naturally the Master Yi strat immediately actually goes down.
Flash in on their tower. Paranoia for the wrap up from Esperer. So 3-man gank and towards the bot lane. UPD of Legend Esports didn't see that coming.
They're going to try and get this first turret as well.
Okay, a lot of camps, a lot of gold being taken away towards the bot side. First turret is at stake here.
Definitely going to be a lot of gold, and Comte will really appreciate that. Just having a lot of gold down his pocket is always good for Draven. Gives him the 80 that he needs.
So the gold goes to the Draven.
And I like how DLSU is playing this. They're playing these short-term dives here. They're probably going to go for Spring.
Paranoia is down, so they're feeling a bit confident in the mid lane. Esper was trying to show himself towards the mid lane, but Spring says, it's fine, I'm a Vladimir, that's 102. I already have my Shirel's Reverie. I can go under the pole to dodge the sun, so he's feeling very confident.
DLSU, it seems like, with great fortune on their side, was able to pretty much shut down UPD's strategy, being able to play around that as well.
More than just, complete shutdown, as they've just taken away the first Drake of our game here. The Infernal Drake going towards DLSU, Viridius Arcus.
Seems like, since they're naturally their champions, pretty much just trying to shut down this UPD cheesy strat, and not only the picks that they picked up, but how they play around it.
Karna
for the top side
is very aggressive, going for that dive. He's feeling confident. Vanguard's Edge was there to just trap him in the arena. So another pickup there towards the top lane side. 2-1 KDA score for Karna.
It's going to be very scary here. Karna getting 2 kills. Esper has 3. Comte is getting there with his 2 assists. That's going to be quite scary, and I don't think UPD has the right tools as of this point.
Let's see, going for the face take here, gets binded by the Morgana, exhaust is onto the Draven, gets some damage onto it, does flush away against the heal. Here comes the response here, onto the Rakan, over the wall there, going in forward, the Malcolm does not connect, but Yochan is still the one for the prize.
Not enough damage coming here from Yochan, doesn't able to get his shots fast enough, and Ventus dances in towards the fight and just really gets a very nice save onto Comte.
I like what Comte is doing here, picking up a double BF sword because of his Super Snowball Draven with the Conqueror Keystone, which is working out pretty well. See, he was able to just scare away Yochan and Syzygy because of his sheer raw damage.
This raw power coming here from Comte. Just so much damage to conquer it. And I keep saying that DLSU wants these short dives here.
Looks like the Dazzle didn't connect there. Spring going in for tower dive. Evil's confident. Right now we're seeing Davos meditating under his tower. Gets a shot from the ultimate, but here comes the response coming from the Morgana. Davos flashes in for that kill.
That might be something that Davos needs to get back in this game. That 550 goal. Here comes Call the Fourth God.
Coming in here, does snug up Spring up to the air. Spring gets a huge chunk of health, does flash away. He will get knocked up, does not get knocked up. He's under the pool, survives.
Ooh, Davos really wanted to go in there. Doesn't seem like it is feasible for them, but UPD, they're trying to get back in this game. It's still going to be very difficult at 6,000 gold behind at this stage of the game.
They have to be careful because this Vladimir doesn't have the usual ghost that we see, because Shirelia's Reverie is back, more of a favorable pickup compared to the Proto Belt. So, and that's why he has Ignite, more kill pressure, and that's why we're seeing Esperer having a 4-1-1 KDA with Spring having 3 assists. So, a lot of love happening in the mid lane.
We want to go for Nona here.
Oh, let's see the damage happening here. Oh, let's see, Conqueror should be stacking up now. Good damage, good damage.
They do still want to push this in, with Nona having to recall without his teleport.
He's trying to deny the recall here. Doesn't want him to go back home.
Yochan and Syzygy gonna come in here trying to defend this.
They're gonna still try and deny it here. Dark Binding does not connect, but a dock up. Okay, onto the Morgana. Did charm the Orn. Here comes Esperer. You see Syzygy popping the stasis. They're going onto the Caitlyn, and that's gonna be Yochan being taken down here. Bad call for the Rakan. Did get binded by the Morgana, leaving the Orn behind. There comes the Executioner's daggers in the end. Another 1-for-1 trade happening towards the bot lane, but in the end, look at that, guys. Comte on this Conqueror Draven having that double kill.
And he's going to go for Fear as well.
Spring going in for the response towards the bot lane. What a fight we saw, guys. Major extended, but in the end, in complete favor of DLSU.
Yeah, UPD's having a lot of trouble here with 2 supports that don't have a lot of gold. Davies, even though he's been soaking a lot of XP and gold from mid lane, doesn't have enough to actually match Esperer. So it's pretty much not in favor of UPD at all, because even if it is a 5v5, the numbers advantage will still go to DLSU. And Davies, he's gonna get
That's just brutal. Despite the meditate, that's not gonna protect you. Not enough time was bought by the Master Yi for his team to respawn. Now VA going back towards their own base for a soft reset, but the Mountain Drake will start in 1 minute and 28 seconds here, guys. So that's the second Drake in this game.
And DLSU, I really love how they're doing this composition. I like how they're playing it, because they know that they have the Conqueror Draven, they have Spring with that Vladimir, as well as Esper diving in with his lethality items and his AD items. They excel so well in these short engages. Just go in, kill you, and that's done in like 2 seconds. But if you get into an extended fight, the Draven still deals so much damage, and Karna is an extended damage god. Oh,
looks like a help from the Rakan did manage to get some charm, but Comte, wow, look at that. He soaked up a lot of damage. He's still alive here, but he can just quickly regenerate that with his lifesteal.
Even has that emote saying "Come at me." Seems like UPD has responded to that
gets
challenge.
blocked by the Rakan. They're going in for some front door engage, but as we can see from UPD's side, they don't have any sort of engage in the top lane because Nona is quite busy in the bot lane.
Pretty good trade here coming from Nona. However, Karna can still naturally regen a little bit up with that corrupting potion.
This Arcus playing this game really well.
Spring's going to want to dive this. Nona has no idea.
Okay, Predator has been popped by the Vladimir going for the tower there. Vanguard's Edge was used. Getting slow there, gets the resist from the mark. Looks like Karna will be picking up the kill in the bot lane.
DLSU got him. Seems like UPD is in such dire straits right now. Karna is going to push that bottom lane hard, but UPD can't leave this top lane alone because they're going to try and take this down. This threat of Comte getting on a turret is just way too big. UPD cannot leave this alone, and Yochan still needs a lot of farm.
And I think for young members like UPD, when they hear the ultimate Galingai Nocturne, they have to start praying because you can see that he has the Dusk Plate, so easy pop there for the Nocturne.
Yeah, definitely. Very thematic item here for the Nocturne as well with the Dusk Plate. Here taking the Rift Herald, this is just going to extend their lead if they use it properly on a turret. He's just going to tear it down and demolish it. Davies still cannot try and go for Spring, not quite ahead at all.
Okay, 18 minutes into this game. So he goes for 15. The binding will start things off here. Oh! Did you see the pop going for the Nocturne? Now they're on the tower. Comte sucking up the damage. Okay, Nona does pick up the kill from Comte because he got aggro. They're going in for a dive. Looks like the Concentratus did find some time. And now it's going to be a cleanup here for the Aurelia. Double, a triple. Look at that dive going in complete favor of VA.
Super A here coming from DLSU, and now they're just going to take over the base of UPD, tear down these turrets, possibly take another one, but seems like the respawn timers aren't that long, but they're still very, very confident here. UPD, they're not performing very well with this cheesy composition.
Grabe naman Alas. I mean, they were going for something na medyo natawa sa atin, pero tingnan natin yung replay. What happened?
See what happens here. He just goes straight for it, and look at that. Just bam, Yochan gets popped here. And even if Davies does get a lot of DPS onto Esperer, and he does get the invincibility, the fact is he doesn't get enough damage because of the Sanguine Pool. So that's actually pretty good coming here from the Vladimir, and the rest of them just dive the rest of the rest of UPD.
I mean, for DLSU, they don't need to be scared of anything from UPD kasi walang some damage. I mean,
yeah, definitely not a lot of damage.
No damage at all because the Yi hasn't been snowballing, and at this point, it's the Nocturne being the one in control here, and Yochan, he can 0-4-3, gets popped by the Nocturne, easy game there, and now we're seeing, I think, okay, Esper may go for the pop build here because we're seeing a Zeal and a Dagger.
Oh man, definitely just going to make a squishy explode here. Yo-chan, he's got to be very careful. And even if Davice gets all the buffs that he needs, the Black Shield, the invincibility from the Cosmic Radiance, this is going to be hard. Look at that.
Let's see. Vanguard's Edge dropping 3 members here. And Luke and Esper going in for the dive. Yo-chan again removed from the fight. And now Comte. Medyo mana siya. Always with the tower aggro or going in for a knockup. But in the end, did buy some time. Was able to take down 2 members, giving him that double kill.
Look at all of those question mark pings coming from both of these teams. They do get this turret. It seems like they want to get another one. Just a short time gonna be for this one. Esper can deal a lot of damage in a short amount of time on these turrets with his attack speed.
Yo-chan and Syzygy will respond right now. 1 second left on to Veer with the Taric. Note that, guys, in this patch, despite the Rift health being very, very low, can deal quite a lot of damage because it does have a minimum damage dealt to turrets. Looks like they'll stop it now and save their Nexus turrets.
Inhibitors still went down, however. It seems like DLSU did not go for the top lane turret, but it seems like it is going to be. Look at that. It's just very short. This fight was over in a flash.
Look at Yo-chan.
As soon as Esper jumps on everyone, because they have a lot of damage all around too. So as soon as they get the good dive, they take down the carries, and everything else, it just follows. These tanks cannot fend for themselves without their carries.
And oddly enough, why is Comte the one always stacking the turret shots? He's the one getting the aggro, but in the end, 2 member wipe out there. Radius was used to buy some time. Okay, 3 members involved. Comte's still there, charging up the Conqueror. Oh, the damage from the Conqueror, and they re-engage. Coming from a Sparrow with the Paranoia. Ornn did buy some time, knocking out the 2 members of DLSU, but in the end, the Fear will be the assist for Spring, because he's the one backing in the kill with Fear. The only member remaining here, and looks like Spring closing in for the kill. This is a double kill.
This is probably game here. Only Yo-chan is going to be alive in 15 seconds on Syzygy, but they won't be enough to actually stop this push coming from Karna and Esper.
Looks like this will be our game 4, and DLSU with a very convincing kill score, and the way they play their strat is 9-30 here, and in the end, DLSU will back their win against UPD in our match 4. GG well played to both players and teams.
Seems like UPD's fun was really stopped short there just by DLSU really playing around very well against that strategy.
It was creative, it was fun, it was something to look forward to. I mean, we did look forward to it, but in the end, it was DLSU's strategy and their shutdown towards that strat, which won them the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if you saw Davice in the second to the last fight, he was actually doing pretty well against Comte. However, since he's not ahead, Comte was able to kill him back. Just the potential. Imagine if Davice actually was ahead. He would actually be unstoppable. But unfortunately, they weren't able to play around DLSU's composition. Actually, since Mastery was locked in last, the fact is, it was fortunate for DLSU. Their mid laner had so much protection with the Sanguine Pool, and just everything was against UPD's composition there. But it was pretty fun to watch.
Not just that, also the priority in the mid lane. Great clear coming from the Vladimir. So I think that's it for our match 4 as DLSU will be winning this game. As for UPD, we'll be losing another game here in our week 5 of the group stages here. So guys, I think that's it for us. My name is Vulcan. With me was Atlas. Thank you so much for joining into the 2018 LVL Spring Term Group Stages on our week 5. After the short break, we will resume to our game 5 here for AMA versus I Academy. So stay tuned for that. See you there. The binding will start things off here. Oh! Did you see the pop going for the Nocturne? Now they're on the tower. Comte is sucking up the damage. Okay, Nola does pick up the kill from Comte because he got aggro. They're going in for a dive. Looks like the Concentrate is hit by some time. And now it's going to be a cleanup here for the Aurelia. Double, a triple. Vanguard is dropping 3 members here. And Luke and Esper going in for the dive. Yo-chan again removed from the fight. And now Comte. Medyo mana siya. Always with the tower aggro or going in for a knockup. But in the air, charging up the Conqueror. Oh, the damage from the Conqueror. And they re-engage. coming from Aspero with the paranoia. Orn did buy some time knocking out the two members of DLSU, but in the end, the fear will be the assist for Spring. With a very convincing kill score and the way they play their strat. It's 9-13 here, and in the end, DLSU will back their win against UPD in our match 4. GG well played to both players and teams.